everyone, welcome back to a continuation series where I take a look at this video, Marvel Not, Satan's Endgame, Secrets of the Avengers. In it, they argue that the MCU is riddled with anti-God themes, imagery, and philosophies, all designed to convince you, the viewer, that God and Jesus are evil, and to embrace Satan. My name is Holden Hardman. I am a Christian that will debunk these claims scripturally. I will provide context for the arguments made, and we'll use some just good old common sense. This is a series, so make sure to check out the previous videos. I think this is part 5, technically. All the videos have had specific themes talking about specific movies, and today we're continuing on with Avengers Age of Ultron. The source video will be in the description below if you would like to watch it for context. Please don't go to their page and spam them with hate comments and stuff like that. That was happening. Please don't do that anymore. Last episode, we looked at Guardians of the Galaxy. They started getting into Age of Ultron, and the presenter is now working his way to discuss Vision. Previously, the presenter made the assertion that the Marvel movies use the phrase "I am" throughout these movies to parallel God. If you are unfamiliar, in the Old Testament of the Bible, God refers to himself as "I am that I am." I needed to bring it up early in this video because they are going to talk about it some more. They make the claim that anytime the phrase "I am" is used, it is used to belittle or undermine God's title. That is, of course, absurd. I am is a common, everyday phrase used in the English language. There is, however, one distinction that these guys focus on. Let's get into that.
Now, this particular character, his name is Vision, and the Avengers also create him. They give him life. Listen to the language that's used in this particular scene when he meets the Avengers for the first time.
You think I'm a child of Ultron? I'm not Ultron. I'm not Jarvis. I am.
Dun dun! I love the music and the sound effects that they throw in there. As an editor, music and sound is used to elicit a specific emotional response from your audience. It's why in a lot of churches they'll play really soft music during an altar call because they want to elicit that emotional response. The only reason I'm pointing this out is because they're doing it here to make this scene a lot more ominous than it really is, especially in the context that was actually happening in the movie. I could do something similar.
What do you want for dessert?
Cheesecake.
But anyway, let's look at this scene, provide context surrounding Vision, and determine if he truly is telling us that he is God. I cannot believe I'm having to do this. Ultron was created by the Avengers, specifically Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. This was right after he was born. Ultron was attempting to upload his consciousness into the body of Vision, and the Avengers were worried that Vision might be evil if Ultron uploaded enough of himself into that body. So when Ultron says, "I am not a child of Ultron," he's literally saying, I am not a part of him. We're not connected at all. What is the context here? Who is Vision? What is Vision? As he was saying, he's not Ultron. He's not really even Jarvis. He just is. That's what he's saying here. I just am. I'm just here. I don't really know what I am. I just am. The only similarity to God is that God just is as well. But Vision was created. He has a beginning and, spoilers, he has an end. For Christians, God has no beginning or end. He is outside the laws of time. He created time. It is true that they both just are, but Vision is distinctly not God. I'm so far down this rabbit hole. Him just saying that he just is not the same thing as him saying, I am God.
So also here he's sitting there describing what the plan of action is to beat Ultron. Now I find this very interesting. Listen to this.
I don't want to kill Ultron. He's unique. And he's in pain. But that pain will roll over the earth, so he must be destroyed. Every form he's built, every trace of his presence on the net.
So what did you just hear?
Vision doesn't want to kill Ultron, but acknowledges that he must, because if he doesn't, Ultron will kill everyone. He's also acknowledging that all of the Sentry robots must be destroyed, and to eradicate Ultron from the internet.
He doesn't want to destroy him. He wants to destroy everything that he stands for.
Yeah, kinda. As far as destroying everything he stands for, no, he was talking about destroying Ultron himself. But I guess by extension, everything he stands for? Like wanting to eradicate all of mankind?
He wants to utterly change every form, every thought, every idea, because that's the ultimate way to destroy someone, right? Even if they're there in your presence, but to destroy who that image is to people, that's the best way to beat them.
Because it turns your opinion of them, like, so now the whole world is coming against this person because they believe that their character's twisted, you know?
Guys, he's talking about destroying Ultron Literally. I don't know if they're all that concerned about destroying people's opinions of Ultron. They're just trying to stop him from killing everyone.
But it's exactly like what the devil is doing with God, right?
Yeah,
In the Dark Ages, the devil knew the more Christians he killed, the more they popped up, right? So all of a sudden he goes, well, I can't just kill them because all of a sudden they're repopulating like crazy. What I can do is destroy the image of God in them. And he's taken over Christianity and twisted it, right? Yeah. So I found this pretty interesting that this is literally the devil's plan to destroy God's image in your life.
I actually agree with a lot of this. It's much easier to destroy from within. It's the oldest trick in the book, but man, is it effective. Look at Protestantism. There are thousands of denominations within Protestantism alone. There's literally a whole denomination about how church should be on a Saturday. That's like their whole thing. All denominations believe they're the right one. They've figured it out. They've got it right. All love Jesus. All believe in God. But you use real wine at communion instead of Welch's grape juice? Looks like we need another denomination. To many outsiders, Christians look petty, hypocritical, and judgmental. At some point, we need to ask ourselves constructively, do they have a point? And if the answer is yes, we need to do something about it. It's funny to me that they talk about this evil plan Satan has to divide up Christians when we're so petty and wrapped up over who is right and wrong over interpretations of obscure Bible verses that we divide ourselves. That's actually one thing I really admire about my Catholic neighbors, that they have one holy Catholic and apostolic church.
Listen to this even.
When the earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
What? He said God throws a stone at it?
So he's referring to a prophecy.
Okay.
I mean, that's what happens in Daniel. You know, there's a great stone, like a mountain, that comes and destroys the image that Nebuchadnezzar dreamed about. And God set up that was representative of God's kingdom being set up on earth.
So it will literally, prophecy, literally being spoken right here.
It's so interesting to me to hear this interpretation, because I'm not hearing prophecy at all. I'm hearing resentment. They're taking this so literally that Ultron is literally saying God is going to destroy the world. To me, this echoes a lot of people's struggles with God. Everything is going right in your life, for once, finally, and then something really bad happens. Lots of people feel this way, whether you agree with the conclusion that God is to blame for it or not. There's resentment here. And if you want to get really nitty-gritty with it, Ultron is kind of actually quoting a Bible verse here. 1 Thessalonians 5:3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Meaning that one day everything is going to be great and peaceful, and then out of nowhere destruction comes upon you.
Listen to the end of this film, what he is basically describing when he comes to destroy the world, what people are looking for. What are they doing when they're looking up in the sky in the end of the world? Listen to this verbiage.
The world would have looked to the sky and seen hope, seen mercy. Instead, they'll look up in horror because of you.
So when he comes to destroy the world, people will be looking up into the sky for hope and mercy. That's the very thing that the Christian church has been longing for since the beginning of time, right?
Maybe this is just a personal preference, but I like that he parallels his mission with religion. It makes it more intimidating to me because I pick up on these references.
Come to confess your sins.
I don't know, how much time you got?
More than you. The inevitability. You rise, only to fall.
Isn't this interesting? You rise only to fall, right? But literally in the very end, after Satan sits there for 1,000 years thinking about what he's done, the people will be resurrected and literally get a chance to see why they weren't allowed to come to heaven, only to fall again.
That's what you think they were referencing and paralleling? You must be very limber, because I've never seen anyone stretch this much.
You know what's funny? Is it a slam if it's true? Like all these parallels.
Yay, girl on the end finally said something 40 minutes into the video. Is it a slam if it's true? That's a dangerous road to go on if you're implying that something isn't a slam if it's true. Like if I said you need to realize there's residual sexism in this church group of yours that I pointed out in the last episode, but you don't realize it because you're too indoctrinated into this Christian subculture. But it's not a slam if it's true.
But he is
Except
the bad
at the
guy.
end, it's kind of twisted where the person who has the figure of God falls, whereas the rebellion wins, which is incorrect from the biblical standpoint.
Well, He doesn't have the figure of God. And we established in the last video that rebellions aren't inherently evil. Sometimes they can be, but not always.
They're using biblical truth, but they're just flipping the characters around, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and they're just confusing you. But
they're not confusing anyone. Ultron is the bad guy. Any Christian parallels are because of Ultron's own ego and appreciation for human religion. He is not God, he is not a representation of God, and why has Captain America not been mentioned even once yet?
And the end game is paralleling what the Bible's telling us is going to happen in the end.
The climactic end battle where the Avengers fight Thanos, yet somehow Thanos is God and the Avengers are evil for some reason? Or is Tony still Jesus at this point? Is Thor still Satan? Is Captain America still never brought up?
Because the viewer wants that guy defeated.
Yeah, because he's the bad guy that laid out a systemic plan to eradicate all of humanity. I'm gonna wrap this episode up here because they start going straight into Black Panther, and they talk a lot about mysticism and the scene where T'Challa is talking to his father on the ethereal plane. As of recording this episode, Chadwick Boseman just passed away about a week or so ago. I'm going to do my best to not get upset about the claims these guys make. A lot of them are so off the wall and very, very frustrating, and I know that these are the type of believers that think that Chadwick Boseman is burning in hell because he was in Black Panther at all. So I'm going to do my best to be level-headed. No promises. I'm looking forward to getting into that. Leave this video a like, helps my channel out a lot. Comment down below letting me know what you think. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Also consider supporting me on Patreon. It's a great way to get early access to select videos like this. Also help support me as an independent content creator. As always, I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you in the next video. God bless.